Hi, we're going to be doing an example program for week 2, which is chapter 3. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this over so we can kind of look at this. So this one's over colors. The colors red, blue, and yellow are known as the primary colors because they cannot be made by mixing other colors. When you mix two primary colors, you get a secondary color as shown here. When you mix red and blue, you get purple. When you mix red and yellow, you get orange. When you mix blue and yellow, you get green. Design a program that prompts the user to enter the names of two primary colors to mix. If the user enters anything other than red, blue, or yellow, the program should display an error message. Otherwise, the program should display the name of the secondary color that results. So let's go ahead and we'll create a program to do this. We'll start up Python and then open a new file. So the first thing we're going to need is we're going to go ahead and set up some constants on this so that we can use the constant names instead of the color names. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but sometimes you do things that don't make sense. So we're going to have a constant called red, uppercase letters. It's going to be equal to the color red. And we're going to have a constant named blue. It's going to be equal to the color blue. And we're going to have a constant named yellow. It's going to be equal to the color, you guessed it, yellow. Okay, so we need to get the two colors from the person, so we can use color 1 as the first color. Input enter the first primary color in lowercase letters. And then color 2 is going to be equal to the same thing. Except we changed first to second. So we could have done a copy and paste on that one and just change that, but I didn't do that. So anyway. So what I want to do is some else if statements in here to be able to do the comparisons. So the first one is if color 1 is not equal to red and color 1 is not equal to blue and color 1 is not equal to yellow. It's not red, it's not blue, it's not yellow. Then we have an error message. So we print error, first color you entered must, let's see, oh, sorry, the first color you entered is invalid. Okay. Now, up here, we're going to do an else if, so we come out here, ELIF is how Python does this. Color 2 does not equal red and color 2 does not equal blue and color 2 does not equal yellow. Then we're going to print an error message for that. And I'm going to copy and paste this one. I'm going to do it right here. And just change first to second. Just makes it go a little bit faster there. So then, since we got those two out of the way, now we can do an else if color 1 equals color 2. Then we're going to print another error message. This one's going to be two colors you entered are the same. So you're going to get the same So if you enter two colors that are the same, you're going to get the same color. So it doesn't make sense doing that. Okay, just get set where I'm going to go next with this. So we got those two in there, all those in there. So now on this one, instead of doing an else if, we're going to do an else. Okay, so we need to check all three of those with an else if to get those out of the way, and then if it falls through all those, then we can do an else on here, and the else is going to be if color 1 equals red, and then under here if color 2 equals blue, then we're going to print purple. And I like to stay consistent with this, and I like using the double quotes from all my stuff. Okay, then on this one, then we're going to do else. So if it's still red, but it's not blue, then it has to be yellow. So we're going to print orange. So now what we're going to do is come over here and do an else if. So that means color 1 is not red, so the color 1 has to be blue or yellow. So we're going to then do else if color 1 equals blue. Then if color 2 equals red, then we're going to print purple. Else, we know that color 1 is still blue, color 2 cannot be red, so that means that color 2 has to be yellow. So we're going to print the blue and the yellow together, which is going to be green. Okay. And then we have our last one, which will be, so we'll do an else on this one here. This is going to be if color 2 equals red. Okay, so we already determined color 1 red, color 1 blue, neither one of those. So color 1 has to be yellow at this point. So if color 2 equals red, we have yellow and red, which is going to be to print orange. Else, that means that color 2 has to be blue, and then the blue okay, let me get this straight here. Okay, color 1 is not red. We already did that one. Color 1 is not blue, so color 1 is yellow. And so that means that then color 2 is red. If that's not that, then it has to be blue. So we have the blue and the yellow. So then we're going to print, oops. Green. Okay, that should be all that stuff. So go ahead and get this saved. My drive, get to my right folder here. My examples, week 3. I'm going to call this one colors. .py, save that. And then let's run it. So if I enter in blue and then red, I get purple. Run it again. We'll test this out. Say I'll put in black and green. First color must be, you entered is invalid, okay? I didn't check the second one, we didn't get down to that one. But that tells us the first one's invalid. Oh, okay, so let's run it again. And I'll put in red and green. Whoops, second color is invalid. Okay. And so this time let's put in red and yellow, and I get orange, so it seems to be working good. Okay. So I hope this video helps you out on using if statements and if else statements and if else. So you got if else, and if with an else on there. Okay. So hopefully this helps you out on seeing how these work, and gives you some insight into how you can use if statements with if else's and with else's. Bye.